Hey guys, go talk about AISP. I had a small long on it off the 1 minute 20 early in the morning. A lot of bullish factors stacking up on this play. Really, really nice. First of all, barely up, right? Best market open longs by far. Stocks that aren't up over 50%. So this is opening up 15-20% on the day. Amazing. And then combine that with market open volume, right? Consistent and increasing volume, right? I like to see 500,000 shares a minute. Um, Bullish volume shows, a lot of times, these stocks that make new highs, new highs, new highs, new highs, and the volume's increasing and increasing. I consider bullish. I consider it a sign of accumulation, right? But this one was by far, I mean, everything, there's really nothing else. I was looking at, I believe, what plays were today? Like KIXN was up. WITT was up, but it was pretty extended. If you look at the multi-day time frame, it's pretty extended as a penny stock. Um, and yeah, I think I was watching KIXN at market open, but it didn't have a good book. Pretty much just went straight down. Really no read you really need to make on that type of play. Um, but yeah, getting back to this trade. So yeah, had a small long off the 1 minute 20. I was hoping for another pullback to add into. Never got it. Just pretty much just went straight up. So it ended up being a pretty small trade. Selling at the liquidity level, right? Selling at this liquidity level. Now we'll talk about this dump. So in my Discord, I have I always teach that quick dumps can be very bullish, right? Especially when there's other bullish factors. In fact, this is only up 30-35%, increasing volume, making new highs. A lot of nice bullish factors and SSR. So SSR in and of itself, I don't really consider to be a bullish factor, but I do think it's bullish on this specific pattern where you see market makers pull a stock hyper, and we've seen this on down halts that get manipulated. We've seen this on, a lot of low flow plays where the market maker is trying to shake out longs, trap shorts. And SSR is nice, and the theory is on SSR, shorts have to chase down here because of how quick the reaction is. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna look at the bids. So anytime you see a big knife like this, like you see a knife like this candle, what matters not is the knife candle itself. What matters is the reaction, right? You can look at the book. You can look at bids on the book. You can look at selling out of tape. You can look at previous levels and areas, of interest, previous lower highs. You can look at a lot of different things, but ultimately what matters is what's the reaction, right? Because everyone sees big red candle from high day, they think it's weak, right? So you actually had plenty of opportunity to actually get it. There's actually a ton of bids here. You had a ton of opportunity to hit this trade, but market conditions not super impressive. Ever since GME kind of came along, we've had a few plays like KWE and stuff, but even those, they didn't really have a whole lot of continuation past high day. So this is a pattern that's been working. Now, these aggressive high day clear out pushes that stall right away, right? Just like KWE yesterday. Could be great. I just think I would never want to, I was still holding long here because it was still only up like 35-40% of the day. I was like, yeah, it's doing the aggressive high day clear out and stall pattern, but I don't think the range is overly impressive for the short. So I got shaken out. It rotated back up. They actually threw up tons of bids on this thing. If Mikey Underdog remixed a video, Mikey Mad Dog took the same long I took and then actually took this long here, there's tons of bids. We'll see the Bookmap, tons of bids. He longed this in 420 off the bid stacks, and he got a nice dollar move out of it. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about this structure. Again, I used to hit these failed rotations right away. This was off the 1 minute 9. I don't do that anymore. I find it's too early, especially when a stock is trading pretty consistent volume. It's better to wait. And then, yeah, this rotation just went straight up. I mean, I thought maybe there could be some type of long trappy push there, but it was just, I mean, it was ultra aggressive straight up. There's really, unless you jump the gun and shorted it the millisecond that it kind of started breaking towards high day. This is one of those situations where waiting, even just waiting like 20, 30 seconds can help. And then here, this was perfect. About, I don't know, as far as I know, 4 or 5 different people in my room took this short. It's the same Bookmap signal. This had a great Bookmap. So first of all, 1 minute 20 was like this. It was like the 1 minute 20. 1 minute 20 worked great over here, but I always say the higher and higher something goes, the more and more likely 1 minute 20 rotations aren't going to work, right? It's an early pattern move. So this is early. This is 1 minute 20 early. This is 1 minute 20 way too late, right? Like how many, on my Patreon, which also gives you access to my Discord, you'll see I have a video that I made months ago where I count the structures, right? This could give me a general idea, and I compare that to what types of moves we're seeing in the market, right? So this is kind of like the first short squeeze, right? And this is kind of like, well, you can actually say this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one. So now, we're just getting massive up only, massive, just higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And you have a stock in an environment that's not overly strong, but it's already pushed, 3 or 4 times. The higher something goes, the more likely these types of trades aren't going to work. Off the 1 minute 20, 1 minute 50, that's the concept behind things like fake 5 minute flags. But yeah, so this was right off the 1 minute 20, nice lower highs. And then what they did, I'll show you, they threw up a 40,000 share bid. They pushed it towards this 520 level. It stalled there for about 10 seconds. They pulled the entire bid. And it stalled. New ask came in. And then top of the trade, right? By the way, the reason multiple people in my room are able to take this is because I have a section in my Discord under bearish factors called pulling lower bids after long trap push. So it's not just that the bids are getting pulled, it's where the bids are getting pulled in the context of the chart, right? So like, for example, here's a trade from, I don't know, a month ago, right? Big aggressive move, right? Looks super strong. Gives a midday flag pattern, right? Midday flag. You get the midday flag initiation, right? Looks strong. What do? They throw up like a 50,000 share bid. They fill these ask. They pull the stock, and that's the top of the push, right? And, MIDA here, right? Big high day squeeze. Big aggressive high day squeeze. Pulls back. Painted lower highs. Painted higher lows, right? Nice aggressive push out of the downtrend. Go here. Huge bid shows up, starts filling this ask. Bid gets pulled about 10, 15 seconds later. It dumps, and that's the top of that push, right? Sometimes you get variations like this, VVPR, right? Stock opening up near its highs, a few high day swipes, downtrend, clear walk down, right, on a hyperextended stock. Here's the 1 minute 50, here's a VWAP. Does this crazy support swipe rotation. You can see the bid, there's like a 50,000 share bid, pushes it up, they pull the bid at the top of the push, rolls over, that's the top. It's a common trick. It's very common. It's very common to pull big bids at key liquidity levels, after a stock has been pushed multiple times. So we track that, we talk about it, common tricks. So if we go to the book, I'll just go to, because I'm talking about it right now, we can go to the book. On that push. So over here, here's the same thing, right? So here's that 1 minute 20 walk down. Here's the bids on the 1 minute 20, forming the higher lows, forming the 1 minute 20 bid prop. And then if we go in real time, I was looking right here, right? Right here, we could see the 40,000 share bid show up, and I saw it push to 520. Then after I saw this, I was like, if that bid gets pulled, I'll short. Like, it's great. We're already, 3 or 4 short squeezes into the trade. Market environment, not super impressive. Now we're getting to like the 60, 70, 80% range of the stock. Huge bid comes in, pushes, starts filling this ask. I see new ask come in, big gets pulled. You short here, right? You short in the, you short with the risking these asks. And I like that these asks started populating here. I like that this one came in, right? This one wasn't here, started holding. Everything you want to see. Then I just wanted to see the reaction. Also Mikey Underdog, was still long here, and he saw this bid get pulled, and he sold. And I told him when it pulled back, and it was still in the low fives here. I was like, Mike, you should sell the long. Not only so my short would work, but that's because that's a super bearish, and he did. Mikey's a smart guy. He knows what topping action looks like, because he studies, how shorts, these long trap liquidity moves, and he's able to protect his profits. That's a benefit of studying short patterns, is you're able to protect profits. If you're long, right, you understand what the short thesis is and what the short entry is. If you're long and still holding, you can make adjustments much quicker because you understand the liquidity move, right? So, and we go to AISP. Let's just go to the Thinkorswim chart. Again, not up a lot. By the way, apparently people's Thinkorswims weren't working today. I left mine open from yesterday, so maybe that's why I'm able to use it. I wonder if Thinkorswim ever got fixed. But yeah, look at this volume. 900, 900, 900, 900 million. There's that first dip to the 1 minute 20, right, where VWAP is. Go to the book super quick just to look what that looked like. Again, this was pretty small size. I kind of had to instantly trade off of. So here's that 1 minute 20 walk down. Here's some absorption on the bids. But most importantly, here's the initial bids that caught the knife. And here's the bid follow-up on the 1 minute 20. I liked it. Again, at this point, the stock was only up like 25, 30%, probably 25%. It was trading great volume, right? Trading 900K to 1 million per minute every single minute on the market open push, making new highs. Like, really nice stuff. Like, no need to short. And then, yeah, here's that quick dump pattern I talk about. If we go back to this. Right here. Quick dump on SSR, potential to be a short trap, especially given the fact that this is still only up like 35% at this point. Here's all those bids. Man, look how many bids. So quick dump, quick SSR dump into a bajillion bids. The bids hold, especially you could have long this here. Like, here's the first test of the bid. Here's the first pop. Here's the second test. Second test holds, not a whole lot of ass to the upside. Great little high day clear out. I just got out, when this knife had, just because this pattern's been working. I knew it was only up 40%, but because that pattern was working a lot, I was hesitant. And then, yeah, here's the rotation. If we go back to this hyper-aggressive rotation. So, yeah, timing these manipulated midday long entries could be very tough, right? But not unreasonable, right? Because back here, 415 was such a major bid area that was holding, right? And my thesis, well, if it rotates and it pulls back into 415, I'm going to long. And I saw these like 5 layers of ask here. I was like, is it really good? And I was watching the tape. I was watching 421 hold. 421 had a 25K bidder on the level 2 and just holding. And there's all these bidders below it. And I was like, should I move my entry up? Should I do like 416, 417, 418? And I was like, because, I mean, the main risk is usually I don't like, whenever I see high relative volume push above the 1 minute 9, so like this area where you get this high relative, I don't like longing up here because I feel like it's chasing, right? It's like I rather wait for the dip and rip, right? Pull back, maybe dip down to VWAP and rip straight up. Something like that. Something like a mini shakeout before the initiation, right? Because I just feel like if I'm longing above the 1 minute 9 over here, longing in the high 420s, low 430s, I just feel like it's a huge chase. You open yourself up to a lot of risk, especially on the plays that don't work. But, I mean, the book was telling a different story. Not only that, had a mini micro initiation and then pulled back into even more bids. So, I mean, this was this ended up being actually really a lot of ass, though. So, but heavily manipulated move. Again, here's this structure. Talk about this structure. This one. Again, I used to hit these all the time. Might be way too early because we got increasing volume new highs. Like, I want to be patient, right? And it's getting extended, so at this point, this was like the third short squeeze. So, it's worth it to start switching your focus to a bearish mindset. But I stopped hitting these rotations that are too early. And then I saw the walk down, I saw the soak, and I saw this 1 minute 20 rotation. I'm like, oh, maybe I can make a read here. Maybe this 1 minute 20 push won't work. I go to the book. I mean, it literally just went straight up. I mean, unless you just like, again, if you're shorting in the first couple seconds of hitting these like, 485 level, 490 level, yeah, you would have lost. But in my opinion, unless the level is super painted, unless you have a crazy painted, say you have a backside level that's like all these lower highs are in the same range. Like say they're at between like 480 and 485, and there's like 3 or 4 lower highs all at the same level. The more painted the level, the more likely you're going to get those, clear out candles, right? Where, it pushes above the clear out level for sometimes even as little as 1 or 2 seconds, and then just pulls, just instant pulls. Those tend to happen on much more heavily painted levels than anything we see here. That's when you have to make the judgment call. Like, do I just hit this right away as soon as this level breaks because of how painted it is? But if it's not painted, if it's just like a lower high that's rotating into, with bid support and stuff, it's like most of the time there's no, even look at this trade, right? This trade pushed to 520. They pulled the bid. From the time they pulled the bid to where it actually faded was almost 2 full minutes. This was almost 2 full minutes where you had time, like, to at least wait a little bit, wait a, half a minute, you wait 20, 30 seconds at least, or wait a minute, another minute, or two, probably not two, probably, at least 20 seconds. They usually don't have to make lightning, super fast reads. And you had time to get in, you had the time to analyze the soak, the asks coming in, the bids getting pulled, that type of thing, and it was nice, right? So really no trade on this push. Just went straight up, hyper aggressive, and yeah, I mean, and then the rest is history. Here's the 1 minute 20. You can see the 1 minute 20 prop, right? 1 minute 20 here, super nice. 1 minute 20 here, not very nice. Now, what usually happens on extended tickers is on really strong stocks, what will happen is, you get, your fourth short squeeze of the day, you get a rotation that fails, and then you get some type of midday, manipulated rotation later, right? Essentially creating a lower high chart paint to squeeze later, right? Really strong markets, this can get attacked, right? This can get attacked on really strong stocks. But in this type of market, it was nice. I was hoping these higher lows would get broken in the end of day. I was still holding on the last of my short, but I might have to cover. So, anyways, that is it for today. Market open long, nice volume. Hard to do size. These times where it just bounces off the 1 minute 20 and immediately rips, it's hard to, get multiple entries without chasing, right? And that can open yourself up to risk. So, not easy, but, SSR dump, and even to a certain extent here, right? These quick dumps from high day could be huge traps, which makes this, you might say, I point on my Discord, there's like this like support swipe in the seller move that did this, like, that looked like it was stalling. I told my Discord, it's like the reason you don't short this is because it's only up 35% on the day. These moves that get like these like, VWAP tap, massive initiation, and it starts stalling, it starts to roll over and fade. Those could be great, if the stock's up 100%, it's already went on like multiple runs. But, this is kind of, it's a little too early in the move. And there's a lot of bullish factors. Stock, consistent, increasing value, making new highs, stuff like that. And, yeah, this was classic. Throw up a big bid. It gets up here. You pull the bid. Stock goes down. Classic move, right? A lot of shorts in my room hit this exact candle, right? Because what we know about, quick pullbacks. 1 minute 20 props, right? And that type of thing. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. Information down below if you want to come check out the Discord. I do have to update this. I keep saying that. But there's a lot of fun stuff in there. Big ass getting filled on pushes, Like here's the Lucy short, right, that I did from the multi-day runner short, right? That swiped that 1.2 level, right? You get to see the more you familiarize yourself with how the book acts at key levels, right? The better you be able. Oh, here's a good example. Here's a good example of like being able when you need to like react right away. So all the backside lower highs all right next to each other. Backside lower high, backside, and then this lower high. Sorry, this lower high, these lower highs. This is when usually you have to be, hyper aggressive, right? But then look at all the Eskin filled. Yeah, so more painted the backside level is, more likely you have to react sometimes within a few seconds on these types of plays. And I miss those plays sometimes. But most of the time, you're not going to need to do that. You have a little bit of time to read the book and react. So that's it for today, guys. Weaker market, but you get so long in weaker markets, right? You just got to pay attention to not overextended plays, right? What were the overextended plays? Anyone who lasted this long, what were the only anyone who actually watches? Right, look at Kit. Pretty extended, right? Pretty extended, right? So there's a lot of risk there. Just another one, TPT. I thought it said in the market open on my Discord. I was like, this could push 50 cents because 50 cents was painted from this high day right here from pre-market high. But the question is not, is it going to push 50 cents? The question is there going to be any continuation? Because you always got to ask yourself, hey, is there more edge short side or long side? And I found that even if there's a long setup happening going in the market open, it's best just to be short bias, hope the long move happens, and then make a short read, right? Because the risk-reward potential is just so much higher. Given the aggressive up only and all that stuff, not really surprising. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. And you have a good one. Information down below about the Discord, and I'll see you.